Not a single day goes by that I don't think about my own death. It plays over in my head time and time again. My heart stops. I can't call for help. My wife or my daughter find me, and then they painfully bury me with only old, eerie pictures to remind them of what we could have had together. My name is Joe Banwell. I'm 27 years old, and I weigh 365 pounds. I don't remember a time in my life that I wasn't heavy. I remember at many different points in life noticing that my body was substantially different than other people's. I know that when my mom took me to go clothes shopping, it was always to the Husky section at JCPenney. I'm pretty sure that there's a picture somewhere of me stealing cheese from the refrigerator when I was a toddler. Food just always played a lead role in my life.
Joe was always, although he was born premature, he was always a very round child, even as a little baby. Joe never had a problem eating anything that was put in front of him, and would also eat several helpings. Unlike his brother, who we couldn't get to sit at the table for 5 minutes and finish 2 or 3 bites. The biggest problem was Joe loved cheese, and so macaroni and cheese, slices of cheese, anything with cheese in it, Joe would eat. Unfortunately, as a single parent, I did not have a lot of money and had to buy foods that would stretch for a small amount of money, and it was not always the healthiest foods or choices. It became really apparent as he finished high school that he was getting larger and larger and larger, and it got out of control. And as a parent, no matter how hard I tried to encourage him, it seemed to do the opposite and make him want to eat more or discount what I was telling him. If Joe doesn't get on the right path soon, I'm very concerned he is going to continue to gain weight and get sick, and then he won't be able to be there for his family and for us.
Up until a few years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you why my weight had become such a burden in my life, but now I have a better idea. I found out a couple years ago that I'm insulin resistant, which apparently causes a person to desire starchy and carb-loaded foods. But I feel that was only a small setback when compared with my mental setbacks. In meeting with a counselor about my weight, he laid out a few questions for me about my eating habits. And it became very apparent after about 12 questions that my eating habits were directly paralleled with my sexual activity, which began when I was 9 years old after being taken advantage of. For 6 years, the sexual activity continued, and when it stopped, my eating habits automatically took over the workload. And I guess all the emotions that I was feeling about sex carried perfectly into my eating habits. I remained abstinent for several years until I married my perfectly beautiful, skinny wife. And in that time, I ballooned from 215 to 320 pounds. I chose not to participate in my prom because I was tired of being rejected by all the people that I found attractive. So it was a complete surprise when I found a hot girl that would actually give me the time of day. And all my friends at the time thought I was photoshopping her into pictures, but to their surprise, I wasn't.
I'm very attracted to Joe. I don't know what and that's really simple. Like, he's completely hot. It breaks my heart to see Joe do daily tasks that are easy for me to do because they're more difficult for him. Getting off the couch, putting his socks on, getting dressed, period. Putting his shoes on, getting winded really easily, walking into stuff, unfortunately, he just doesn't realize his size. I call him clumsy, but it's just because he doesn't know. He doesn't get his size at all. I know he's capable of losing weight. I've watched him drop 40 pounds and gain it right back again. But I know he's capable of doing it. It's just a matter of him having the tools and following through. My biggest fear is him allowing his addiction to control him and missing out on a lot of things that he doesn't even realize he's missing out on. I always worried about his weight, but it didn't really hit me hard, real hard, until little ones started to come in the picture. And yeah, I need him around. I need him around. And I'm fearful that if he doesn't get his eating habits under control, that he won't be.
I never lived a quote-unquote active lifestyle. Growing up, I hated the sweat. I hated the burn in my lungs. I hated watching other people make it look easy. And these days, like many Americans, I have a job that sits me right in front of a computer where I'm not very productive because I have absolutely no energy. I'm not much of a sweets guy. Not into desserts and that kind of stuff. Most of the stuff that I like is salty, fat-loaded, greasy stuff. And most of the time when I'm driving to work, I can't help but stop at all the fast food places, see what we got. And I can name them by memory. Wendy's, Taco Bell, White Castle, Burger King, Arby's, McDonald's, Hardee's, Dunkin' Donuts. I pass a lot of fast food places on my way to work. It's almost impossible for me not to stop. A lot of times I'll sit and eat in my car before I go to work because I don't want people at work to see me eating it. I feel like you're accountable to your closest friends. It's a very secretive life. I get so angry at myself, just mad that I let it get this out of hand because it's holding me back from accomplishing my dreams. I always talk myself out of my ambitions to be a successful entertainer because image is so important. I've even bought bigger guitars to cover up myself because regular guitars look like toys up against my big body. I even had a close friend who told me that he had a dream about me dying on stage. He's worried about me. Everyone is. But all of this stuff, all these insecurities, all these setbacks become irrelevant when I think about my daughter and the son that I have on the way. I don't want them to grow up without a father. I don't want my wife to become a widow at a young age because I don't have any self-control. I want to be a good role model for my children, and I can already see myself being hard on my daughter because of my own struggles. Biggest Loser, I'm ready to fight this, and I believe in what you're doing on the show. I've broken my promise to lose weight too many times. I want to live.